After months of spy photos, speculation, and a recording breaking Nürburgring lap, Lamborghini finally revealed the Aventador SVJ during Pebble Beach in California. The SVJ is a potent version of the SV, with more power and active aerodynamics. Powered by a V12 engine tuned to 770 horsepower at a maximum of 8,500 revolutions per minute, the SVJ represents a bump of 79 horsepower over a base version of the model. Torque output is equally eye-watering, as the SVJ model serves up 531 pounds-feet at 6,750 revolutions per minute. A reworked 7-speed independent shifting road gearbox has been optimized to cope with the extra power, and combined with a dry weight of 3,362 pounds, that's enough to propel the SVJ from to 62 miles per hour in 2.8 seconds, and from to 124 miles per hour in 8.6 seconds, later on reaching the top speed just north of 217 miles per hour. But the SVJ isn't all about power. The new supercar features the second generation of aerodynamical Lamborghini Attivi Active Aerodynamics. AL 2.0 can vary aerodynamic low to achieve high downforce or low drag depending on the driving conditions. The system, a series of flaps, can activate in less than 500 milliseconds. At the front, when AL is off, the closed flaps help generation downforce. When the AL is on, and the flaps are open, drag is reduced, creating an optimal scenario for maximum acceleration and top speed. The SVJ starts at $517,700 with deliveries beginning in early 2019. The 2019 Bugatti Divo is lighter, sharper and tuned more for performance driving down a back road and less for the oozing luxury and straight-line speed of the Bugatti Chiron. If you're filthy rich, you could think of it as the enthusiast's Bugatti. The Divo has been tweaked to be 77 pounds lighter with 198 pounds more downforce than a Chiron, is 8 seconds faster around the Nardo circuit, and boasts a top speed limited to 236 miles per hour with a price tag showing $5.8 million, which doesn't matter because all 40 are already sold. Bugatti president Stefan Winkelmann explained that the car has significantly higher performance in terms of lateral acceleration, agility and cornering. The Divo is made for corners. The Divo name comes from French racing driver and two-time Targa Florio race winner Albert Divo, who won in a Bugatti back in the 1920s. Beyond the change in looks and objective, other Divo differences from the Chiron include even more ducting for increased airflow to better maintain brake, tire and engine temperatures, a rear spoiler that's 23% wider, a lighter sound system, reduced insulation, a carbon fiber intercooler cover, lighter-weight wheels, and the storage areas in the doors and center console have been removed. The car looks incredible to my eye, the taillights are unbelievable for a road-going production car, and it's a welcome departure from the same basic design identity carried through the EB110, Veyron and Chiron. It seems like Winkelmann brought a little bit of Lamborghini with him to Bugatti. In front, the Audi PB18 looks like a sports coupe. In fact, it wouldn't take much convincing to make someone believe this is the R8 of the future because of the massive trapezoidal grille with similarly large inlets on each side. However, viewing the Audi PB18 from the profile and rear reveals that the vehicle is actually a three-door hatchback. The swept-back windshield leads to a flat roof and a pointed rear end. LED span the entire hatch. The PB18 uses a trio of electric motors, one powering the front axle with 201 horsepower and the other pair separately propelling each rear wheel with a total of 604 horsepower. During normal driving, the concept has a total of 671 horsepower and 612 pound-feet of torque is available to the driver, but a temporary boost to 764 horsepower is possible. Audi estimates this output is enough to reach 62 miles per hour in just over 2 seconds. Audi imagines using a futuristic solid-state battery with a 95 kWh capacity, which would allow for an estimated range of over 310.7 miles in the new worldwide harmonized light vehicle test procedure. An 800-volt charging system would top up the battery in just 15 minutes. Wireless induction charging would also be possible. To maximize efficiency, the electric motors generally handle the braking to regenerate power, and the traditional discs and rotors only come into play during hard stops. Inside, the Audi PB18 reminds us a little some motorcycles because the cabin can convert between single-passenger and two-person layout, similar to removing the cover on the rear of the seat to allow for a passenger on a bike. When only one person is in the car, the driver sits in the center of the cockpit for a full view out of the expansive windshield. The glass incorporates an augmented reality system to display info about the road ahead, including the ideal racing line at a track. It will take a keen eye to discern the 2019 NSX from earlier second-generation cars. Exterior changes are limited to body color trim on the grille surround, front air intake mesh, and the mesh on the rear bumper. The optional carbon fiber exterior bits now feature a high-gloss finish. A new thermal orange pearl paint option will ensure everyone sees the NSX coming, and the optional carbon ceramic brakes can be fitted with orange calipers while the standard iron brakes can get red calipers. The hybrid all-wheel drive system, magnetic dampers, electric power steering, and stability control system have all been recalibrated to work with the new hardware, as well as a new Continental Sport Contact 6 tire. What hasn't changed is the hybrid powertrain that teams twin-turbo 3.5-liter V6 and 3 electric motors that combine to put 573 horsepower and 476 pound-feet of torque to the ground through a 9-speed dual-clutch transmission. Inside, indigo blue semi-aniline leather and Alcantara joins the red option, while the full leather seat package can now be optioned in red or ebony. The 2019 Acura NSX starts from $159,300 including destination and is on sale now at U.S. dealers. This race-spec version of the McLaren 720S will enter GT3 Racing Championships in 2019. Compared to the road car, McLaren says 90% of the 720S GT3's parts are newer optimized. Power comes from a racing-modified version of the regular car's twin-turbo 4-liter V8. The 720S GT3 has unique bodywork, including that giant rear wing. Safety upgrades include a roll cage, a carbon Kevlar seat with a 6-point harness and a fire extinguishing system. Each 720S GT3 will cost customer race teams a cool $564,000. Ford is debuting yet another GT Heritage Edition to pay tribute to the GT40s that swept Le Mans from 1966 to 1969. This model wears the famous Skullfoil livery and comes with unique interior appointments that honor Ford's racing past. Owners have already started painting their GTs in Gulf colors, but this is the first new Ford GT to get the iconic livery from the factory. Along with the special paint job, the Heritage Edition features exposed carbon fiber A-pillars, silver mirror caps, 20-inch high-gloss dark gray wheels, and orange Brembo brake calipers finish off the exterior. Ford will offer this special edition for 2 years. It will be available in limited quantities, of course, as Ford has only committed to making 1,000 total copies of the GT. Inside, you'll find ebony Alcantara materials as well as contrast blue and orange stitching. There are dark stainless appliques accenting the instrument panel and other areas, while the door sills are accented in exposed matte carbon fiber. The seats have been embossed to resemble the original 1968 Le Mans winning car. Like other heritage editions, this model features a unique identification plaque. After an interminable wait, countless spy photos, and a bevy of rumors, the 2019 BMW Z4 is finally here for an unveiling at Pebble Beach. Specifically, this is the inline-6 powered M40i trim in first edition specification. Despite the name, this model won't actually arrive in showrooms first. The Z430i will go on sale in spring 2019, and the hotter M40i won't hit dealers until the second quarter of the year. The M40i trim features a 3-liter turbocharged inline-6 engine that pushes the Roadster to 60 miles per hour in an estimated 4.4 seconds. BMW's US spec press release doesn't detail the Z4's power, but European models produced 335 horsepower. Due to the worldwide harmonized light vehicle test procedure emissions test, it's possible the American version could be more powerful. In addition to the potent power plant, the first edition comes with adaptive dampers, M-Sport brakes, and an electronically controlled rear differential. BMW won't spill all the beans about the Z4 yet and will reveal details like the horsepower on September 18th. Inside, the Z4 goes high-tech with a head-up display, digital instrument panel, wide infotainment monitor, and tiny screen for the HVAC readout. The center console features buttons to alter the driving mode, gear shift, and rotary dial to control the infotainment system. Occupants sit in sporty, highly bolstered seats with a sunburst pattern of seams on the headrest. A Harman Kardon surround sound stereo lets folks enjoy their music while enjoying top-down motoring. The supercar wears a host of upgrades developed by McLaren's official personalization department. They are grouped under the MSO Defined and MSO Bespoke headings. The stealth grey hue is the special 600LT's calling card, which MSO accented with an optional matte black and McLaren orange exterior package to highlight the supercar's aerodynamics. Also of note is the roof's coupe invisible carbon fiber. McLaren said in a Wednesday announcement that the Roos Coupe was specifically inspired by the F1 Longtail. Not only does it add form, it's functional, too. Like the regular 600LT, the 600LT by MSO sports the same 3.8-liter twin-turbocharged V8 found in the 570S. Here, it makes 592 horsepower and 457 pound-feet of torque. A 7-speed dual-clutch transmission routes power to the rear wheels. MSO also took care to integrate the Roos Coupe into the cabin. Drivers will find this coupe's cover incorporated into the headliner and two carbon fiber intake hoses integrated into the interior. The 2019 Hyundai Elantra feels like a personal attack on the previous generation. The 2011 model hit the market with sleek, swooping design elements. Long, flowing headlights arched over the rounded wheel wells. It looked like the wind carved it from clay. The new Elantra, said to arrive at dealerships this fall, is angular, with sharp edges. The front looks like a game of Tetris, but for triangles. While the Elantra receives several upgrades for 2019, the engines carry over unchanged. The SE, SCL, and Limited pack the 147 horsepower 2-liter mill, while the Eco offers the same turbocharged 1.4-liter producing 128 horsepower. Those wanting the Elantra Sport will have to wait. Hyundai also upgraded available safety technologies on SCL trims and above, adding forward collision prevention, lane keep assist, and driver attention alert. Those who opt for the limited trim receive a few more goodies, including forward collision avoidance with pedestrian detection, and safe exit assist that warns drivers of approaching vehicles when the door is open. Additional safety features include blind spot monitoring with rear cross-traffic alert, and lane change assist. Inside, changes are less noticeable. However, the 2019 Elantra receives Hyundai's AVN 5.0 infotainment system. The HVAC controls and infotainment display are reworked. A 5-inch color audio system is standard with an 8-inch upgrade available that includes Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and navigation on higher trims. The limited trim receives the 8-speaker, Infinity Premium audio system with a subwoofer, and QI wireless phone charging. Honda's diminutive HR-V crossover is entering its third model year, which means it's right about time for the automaker to inject it with some new kit. Honda announced that the 2019 HR-V will carry more than a few changes. Previously available in 3 trims, LX, EX and DXL Navi, the 2019 HR-V will now be offered with both sport and touring trims. There are a few related tweaks to the style, namely a set of LED headlights that are likely reserved for one or both new trims. Honda also added variable ratio electric power steering and a few more pieces of sound deadening material, in addition to tweaks to its CVT and its all-wheel drive system. Inside, the biggest update is a new display audio touchscreen infotainment system that includes both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's unclear if this is the new version of the infotainment system that was first seen on the 2018 Accord and Odyssey, and Honda told me it won't say anything more on the topic until a later time, which is weird. But no matter what version it is, it has a volume knob, which is nice.